A recent trend that's been popping up around the country is the rise of claw machine arcades. You know what I'm talking about. You put in some money, you get a few seconds to control a mechanical claw, and you drop it down into a pit full of stuffed animals, and if you're lucky, it will kinda grab a Pikachu plushie, lift it an inch off the ground, and then in classic claw machine fashion, drop it like a bad habit. These machines have been a staple for years. They've been at arcades, movie theater lobbies, Chuck E. Cheese's, Dave & Buster's, places like that. I once even saw a claw machine full of live lobsters. Not even joking. If you caught one, the restaurant would cook it for you on the spot. So it was both a game and a moral dilemma. But now we've got entire arcades dedicated just to claw machines. Not the lobster kind, thankfully, but the plushie-filled ones that are wildly popular in Tokyo, Japan, and that trend is now making its way stateside. One of these spots recently opened up right here in our neck of the woods, so naturally, we had to go check it out. This is Atomic Claw in Treasure Island, Florida. It's just steps from the beach, and it's a quick drive west of St. Petersburg, so if you're in the area on a beach getaway, it is really easy to swing by. Even before stepping inside, I was really into the building's retro-futuristic exterior. It has that classic mid-century Googie architecture, you know, like old-school diners crossed with the Jetsons. Yes, and Googie is a real thing. Look it up. Impress your friends. Stepping inside, the place has a clean, family-friendly, almost upscale vibe. Rows of machines, each filled with plushies, toys, and other colorful prizes. The lighting is bright but not blinding, and the air is thick with anticipation, tension, and the faint scent of hope? Maybe regret? Maybe both. Now going in, I fully kind of expected this to be a bit of a racket. My past experience with claw machines, and probably everyone else's, has taught me that with these things, you almost never win. They're usually rigged with claws that couldn't grip a feather in zero gravity. And to be honest, yeah, I mean, that is kind of how they work. There is a bit of skill involved, lining up the claw just right, but most of it does come down to luck. These machines are programmed with a random number generator, and sometimes the software says, okay, give them a win, but most of the time it says, good luck, sucker. So going in, I did expect some heartbreak, but then like 2 minutes after we walked in, Shannon comes up, laughing, holding up a plush kitten she had just won. I was shocked. I mean, that's kind of like catching a fish on the very first cast. I looked around, and sure enough, other people were actually winning too. Tons of people walking around with armfuls of plushies like they had just robbed a Build-A-Bear. So I'm like, wait a minute, are these machines actually winnable? Like real, these are claw machines you can win at? So I tried it, and you guessed it, within a few minutes, I won something, and I have never won at these things. And that's when the whole vibe changed. My whole family got into it, we loaded up our cards with credits, and made it our mission to see how many plushies we could haul out of this place. Credits to play the game start at $4 for $1, and there's some bundles you can get that go from $40 to $100. The bigger a bundle you get, the more bonus credits they're going to throw on there. So each individual credit is going to be a little bit cheaper the more you buy, with each of the machines costing either 4 credits, 7 credits, or 8 credits to play. There is one machine that costs 11 credits, but that's to win this giant plushie. And honestly, it was way more fun than I expected. Sure, we got skunked here and there, that's part of the game, but these machines were set up so you'd win just enough to stay hooked and just enough to keep playing and just enough to tell your friends, I guess. It's kind of like fishing. It's frustrating, but it is slightly addictive, and when you land a good one, it's really satisfying. And by the end of our visit, we had a pretty solid haul. I have no idea what we're going to do with all these plush animals now, but we earned them, so we're going to keep them. And this one right here looks a lot like my cat, so she's my favorite. But what really surprised me most is this place isn't part of a big national chain, it's a locally owned business. With the branding, the polish, and the quality of the space in here, I kind of assumed it was part of a franchise or it was owned by someone like Dave & Buster's. But no, I asked one of the staff and she told me that the owner also runs a local ice cream shop and just wanted to try something new in the neighborhood. So I think that's really cool. So is this Florida's best claw machine arcade? Well, you know, I've got some research to do before I can hand out that crown, but Atomic Claw is definitely a contender. It's fun, clean, family-friendly, well-designed, really fun and friendly atmosphere in here, and you can actually win stuff. So if you're in Treasure Island or anywhere out near the beaches in Pinellas County, I think this place is absolutely worth a stop. Worst case, you lose a few bucks and you walk out with crushed dreams and dashed hopes. Best case, you walk out with a giant stuffed squid and a newfound addiction. So like this video if you've ever yelled at a claw machine, and subscribe to come along with us for some more fun Florida adventures from the theme parks to the state parks and some weird, quirky, offbeat stuff like this. And check out our Patreon. You might see your name at the end of the video right here. Thanks. See you next time.